If I dropped you into the Stone Age right now, you'd probably survive the first day, maybe even the first week. But after that, you'd face a problem most people never think about. You wouldn't know what time it was. You wouldn't know what month it was. You wouldn't know how many days had passed, or how long until winter arrived. No clocks, no calendars, no watches, not even a phone in your pocket. Yet for hundreds of thousands of years, humans survived without any of them. They knew when to wake up, when to hunt, when to travel, and when the seasons were about to change. So how did they do it? The answer begins with the oldest clock on Earth, the sun. Every single morning, it rose from the horizon. Every single evening, it disappeared once again. That simple pattern never stopped. Long before humans built cities, nature was already keeping perfect time, and ancient humans learned how to read it. The sun did far more than provide light. It organized the entire day. As dawn approached, people woke with the growing light. There were no alarm clocks. Nature was the alarm. Morning was the time to prepare. Hunters gathered their weapons. Families packed supplies. Children stayed close to the camp. By midday, the sun reached its highest point, and shadows became much shorter. Without realizing it, people were already reading a natural clock. A longer shadow meant morning. A tiny shadow meant midday. As shadows stretched again, evening was approaching. It was time to return home. Before darkness covered the land, because night changed everything. Visibility disappeared, temperatures often dropped, and predators became more active. Losing track of daylight could become a deadly mistake, but the sun couldn't answer every question. It told you the time of day, not the time of year. For that, people looked somewhere else. They looked at the moon. Unlike the sun, the moon changed every night. Sometimes it was completely dark. Then a thin crescent appeared. Night after night, it grew a little larger, until it became a full moon. Then the cycle reversed. It slowly became smaller again, before disappearing into darkness. Then the pattern repeated, again and again. Ancient humans noticed this long before writing existed. The moon became nature's calendar. Each cycle marked the passing of time, roughly 1 month. Hunters could remember previous moon cycles. Gatherers could plan for seasonal plants. Communities recognized repeating patterns, not by counting dates, but by watching the sky. Some archaeologists believe people even carved moon phases into bones, perhaps to keep track of time. If that's true, those may be humanity's earliest calendars. But even the moon had its limits. To predict the seasons, they needed something even bigger. That something was the stars. Every night they returned, but not always to the same place. As the seasons changed, different constellations appeared overhead. Ancient humans noticed these patterns. Year after year, the sky became a giant calendar, one that never needed to be built. But they didn't only watch the sky, they watched the earth as well. Trees began to bloom. Rivers rose with melting snow. Birds returned from migration. Large herds changed their routes. Even insects became timekeepers. Their arrival signaled warmer days. Every change carried a message. Nature was constantly giving clues. The trick was knowing how to read them. Generations passed this knowledge down. Parents taught their children. Grandparents taught entire communities. No books were needed. Experience became the classroom. Missing these signs had consequences. Leave too late, and winter could trap you. Arrive too early, and the food wouldn't be there. Yet, over thousands of years, people began noticing something remarkable. The same patterns always returned. The longest day of the year, the shortest day, the first spring flowers, the return of migrating animals. None of it happened by accident. Nature followed a rhythm, and humans learned that rhythm. Then everything changed. Some groups stopped wandering. They began farming, and farming demanded perfect timing. Plant too early. The cold could destroy your crops. Plant too late. You might miss the growing season. A single mistake could mean months without food. So people watched the skies even more carefully. They tracked the sun's position. They followed the moon's cycles. They memorized the stars. Eventually, observations became records. Simple marks on bones, carvings on wood and stone. The first calendars were taking shape. not to measure hours, but to help entire civilizations survive. Eventually, humans built their first clocks. Then came calendars, and later, mechanical watches. Today, time is everywhere. It's on our phones, our computers, our cars, even our kitchen appliances. Most of us check the time, dozens of times every day. But ancient humans couldn't. Instead, they watched the world around them. The rising sun, the changing moon, the movement of the stars, the migration of animals, the blooming of flowers, the falling of leaves. Each one marked the passage of time. Nature was their clock. Nature was their calendar. And in many ways, they understood it better than we do, because their survival depended on it. Miss one seasonal sign, and the consequences could be deadly. Today, we rarely notice those signs. We simply check the date. But for thousands of generations, the greatest clock humanity ever had was the Earth itself.